Hello. Today we will solve a question from the TOEFL reading section, focusing on the read a social media post question type. We will practice understanding everyday notices, identifying rules, instructions, or key conditions, and selecting the most accurate answer based on practical, real-life written information. Welcome back to another high-energy TOEFL lesson. In this video, we are tackling a very practical task type found in the new TOEFL format, reading a social media post. These questions test your ability to quickly grasp the main idea and specific details from informal, everyday communication. It is just like scrolling through your feed, but with a keen eye for important information. Let's get started and boost your score. If you find these lessons helpful, do not forget to subscribe to My TOEFL for more essential exam strategies. Let's keep learning and improving together. Daniel Brooks. Let's look at the top of the post. It says, Daniel Brooks. This indicates the name of the person who wrote or shared the post. In a social media context, identifying the author helps us understand that this is a personal or community announcement, likely shared by a resident or a library staff member. The Riverside Public Library is organizing a weekend book exchange event for local residents. Here, the author introduces the main event. He mentions that the library is organizing a specific activity. The core of this message is the book exchange event, which tells us exactly what is happening. People will be trading books. Finally, he specifies the audience by saying it is for local residents, meaning people who live nearby. Visitors can bring up to 5 gently used books and swap them for different titles from the collection. This sentence sets the rules. First, it limits the quantity. You can bring up to 5 books. It also describes the condition of the books as gently used, which means they should not be damaged. The main action here is to swap them, which is a key verb meaning to exchange or trade. The event will run this Saturday from 11 to 1500 in the main reading hall. Now we get the logistical details. The text states the event will run this Saturday, giving us the day. It also provides the specific time frame, from 11 to 1500. Finally, it tells us the location is in the main reading hall, so attendees know exactly where to go inside the library. Please label your books with your name before arriving at the check-in table. This contains a specific instruction for preparation. You must label your books, meaning you need to write your name on them or attach a note. This must be done before arriving, not after. You will then proceed to the check-in table, which is the entry point for the event. Arrive early because popular novels and travel guides are usually taken within the first hour. Here, the author offers advice. He suggests you arrive early. He explains why. Specific items like popular novels are in high demand. These items are often taken quickly, implying that if you are late, you might miss the best choices. Staff will verify membership cards and provide a small ticket for each approved book. This outlines the process at the event. The staff needs to verify membership cards, checking if you are a registered library user. After that, they will provide a small ticket. This ticket serves as a currency for the exchange, given for each approved book you bring. There will also be a short workshop at 1400 about caring for old books and preserving rare editions. The post mentions an additional activity. There is a short workshop, which is a brief educational session. It is scheduled at 1400. The topic covers caring for old books, teaching people how to look after their collection. Reserve a seat for the workshop through the library app and save your confirmation message. This gives the requirement for attending the workshop. You must reserve a seat in advance. The method to do this is through the library app. Also, you are instructed to save your confirmation message, likely to show as proof of entry. Organizers recommend bringing a reusable bag to carry your selected books home safely. Finally, there is a recommendation. The organizers suggest bringing a reusable bag. The purpose is simple: to carry your selected books comfortably and safely back to your house. Now that we have analyzed the text, let's look at the first question. This question asks about the general intent of the message. What is the main purpose of the post? We need to determine why this post was written. The key phrase here is main purpose. We should look for the overall theme, which is usually found in the opening sentences. The text begins by stating the library is organizing a weekend book exchange event, and then details the rules and schedule. This structure is typical for an announcement. Let's take a closer look at option A, to announce a community book exchange and explain how it works. Option A suggests the purpose is to announce a community book exchange. This aligns perfectly with the first sentence. It also adds that the post explains how it works, which covers the details about bringing books, swapping them, and the ticketing system. This covers the entire content of the post. Correct. Now let's take a closer look at option B, to review the most popular novels of the year. Option B says the goal is to review books. While the text mentions popular novels, it does so only to warn people that they disappear quickly. There is no evaluation, critique, or summary of any books. Therefore, this is not a review. Incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option C, to compare different bookstores in the area. Option C claims the post is to compare different bookstores. The text focuses solely on the Riverside Public Library and its event. No bookstores or other businesses are mentioned or compared. Incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option D, to introduce a new digital reading device. Option D suggests the purpose is to introduce a new digital reading device. Although the text mentions a library app, it is a tool for reservation, not a new device being launched. The main topic is physical books, not technology. Incorrect. The correct answer is A, because the key expressions in the text directly match this option, while the other choices either provide incomplete information or clearly contradict the passage. Moving on to the second question, we need to find specific details about the schedule. Pay attention to the time markers in the text. When will the event take place? This question asks for the time of the event. The key word is when. We need to scan the text for days and hours. The text explicitly states, run this Saturday from 11 to 1500. We must match this specific time frame to the options provided. Let's take a closer look at option A, on Sunday evening after closing hours. Option A suggests Sunday evening. This contradicts the text, which clearly says Saturday. Also, the time 11 to 1500 is during the day, not in the evening. Incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option B, on Saturday between late morning and mid-afternoon. Option B describes the time as on Saturday, which matches the text. It describes the hours as between late morning and mid-afternoon. Since 11 is late morning and 1500 or 3 p.m. is mid-afternoon, this is a perfect paraphrase of 11 to 1500. Correct. Now let's take a closer look at option C, every weekday throughout the month. Option C says every weekday. The text specifies a single event on a weekend, this Saturday, not a recurring daily event. Incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option D, late at night in a private meeting room. Option D suggests the event is late at night. The time, 11 to 1500, is daytime. Additionally, the location is the main reading hall, which is a public area, not a private room. Incorrect. The correct answer is B, because the key expressions in the text directly match this option, while the other choices either provide incomplete information or clearly contradict the passage. Finally, let's look at the third question. This one focuses on a specific condition required to join a sub-event, the workshop. What should participants do to attend the workshop? The question asks about the requirement for the workshop. Key phrase, attend the workshop. We scan for the word workshop and find the instruction, reserve a seat through the library app. We need the option that matches this digital registration process. Let's take a closer look at option A. Call the city office to request permission. Option A suggests you must call the city office. The text directs users to the library app, not a phone call to a government office. Incorrect. Now, let's take a closer look at option B. Buy a special ticket at the door. Option B mentions buying a ticket at the door. The text says you need to reserve a seat via the app. While there is a mention of tickets for books, there is no mention of buying tickets for the workshop at the door. Incorrect. Now, let's take a closer look at option C. Sign up through the library's digital platform and keep the confirmation. Option C says to sign up through the library's digital platform. The phrase digital platform is a perfect synonym for library app. It also says to keep the confirmation, which matches the instruction to save your confirmation message. This is the correct action. Correct. Now, let's take a closer look at option D. Wait outside until a staff member invites them. Option D suggests you should wait outside. There is no instruction in the text about waiting for an invitation. The process is proactive. You must reserve your spot yourself. Incorrect. The correct answer is C, because the key expressions in the text directly match this option, while the other choices either provide incomplete information or clearly contradict the passage.